Guys, there's an entire movement towards better habits led by today's sponsor, Fume. Fume is an award-winning flavored air device that fills the void while you're ditching a bad habit. Fume is not a vape, but it gives you something to reach for when that craving hits. Instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural. Instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. And instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses all natural flavors with no nicotine and no batteries. Fume is not addictive, and you'll never have to charge it. Your Fume comes with an adjustable airflow dial, and it's designed with movable parts, which is great for fidgeting, giving your fingers plenty to do, which can be great for de-stressing. Fume continually invests in third-party studies to ensure the safety of their products, and it's backed by doctors right here in the U.S. Fume has served over 150,000 customers, and you can be the next success story. For a limited time, head to tryfume.com and use my promo code Chael to get yourself 10% off of a journey pack. Scan the on-screen QR code or just click on the link below. I was out at campus, guys. I was at the Worldwide Leader right there, Bristol, Connecticut. In fact, I almost didn't get in. I did not have my security badge. So when I was telling the security guard, and he says, "What is your name?" And I say, "Chael Sonnen," and he has me pronounce it 5 different times. Chael Sonnen. It's S-O. We have to do the whole thing. We have to do the whole entire thing. So now at some point I'm in a hurry and I got to kind of get on with it. And I have to pull, the Chael Sonnen show. What's Chael Sonnen show? Who's Chael Sonnen? Me. I'm Chael Sonnen. You Chael Sonnen? You got your own show? Yes. Brings it up. Wouldn't you know? There's a logoed picture. And the picture on that logo is not of me. So, we're back at square one. All right, forget it. Doesn't matter how I got through. I did get through, and I spent a whole weekend on campus. And Ryan Garcia and the fact that he has a failed drug test came up one time, and it came up on my 3rd day on campus, and it came up by me because I was asking the fellow hosts and talents, producers, directors, writers over there, why does nobody care? Why does absolutely nobody care? And that got a chuckle from people, but it didn't get a response. I never got an answer. And I am still wondering. I'm just wondering why nobody cares. Now, I've got to tell you, and I also had to tell them. I had to explain it to my cohorts, and, they care about baseball and football and basketball and the draft and all of these different hockeys, deep in season. So I'm a little out of my sorts, but I am explaining to them that this drug test announcement is unlike any drug test announcement that I've ever seen. VADA, who caught them? Nobody wants VADA to exist, but nobody can say those words. Like if Dr. Margaret Goodman called up an executive director and goes, Chael Sonnen's over there saying that you wish I didn't exist. That executive director would say, Chael Sonnen is wrong and we are thrilled to have you. While thinking, of course we wish that you don't exist. Why would we want you to exist? And then look at what happened in this situation. The commission had a job, which is to catch somebody who's cheating. There's different ways of cheating, but none is higher than that of steroids. Steroids in this order make you bigger, faster, stronger. In that order. It's not like Adderall or cocaine or a number of other things that might rev you up to some degree. It's going to make you bigger, stronger, faster in that order. Okay. The commission, who had the funding and who had the ability, failed to catch the steroid. VADA, who did not have authority, sanctioning, or funding, did catch the steroid. So I just right away, you got this weird spot going on. Just right away. Now we all have to pretend like, that's why we got you, baby. Hey, thrilled you're here. That's exactly why we brought you in. So we could work together. There was no work together. There was no work together. One person who had this failed, and another person caught it. Now, I don't say it to give anybody a hard time. I say that so that you can start to understand why you don't have a joint statement. Now, typically speaking, if anyone was to come out, okay, they would say the New York State Athletic Commission hereby sanction and immediately suspends Ryan Garcia for a failed sample. He will have a commission hearing and it will state the exact time, date, and even the address. We are still waiting on his B sample, of which, if it doesn't match the A sample, he will immediately be given license status back. Okay, but that's the way it would read, and it didn't here. Not only not read that way, I personally still have not heard anything from the sanctioning commission. Now, as of Saturday, when I'm having my talk on campus with my cohorts, it wasn't even out, and they looked it up. I still haven't heard anything from them. And I just want to share with you why. In fact, I didn't even get this news from Bada. I got it from Devin Haney. Devin Haney went to the world telling them that he got it from Bada. So then you go to Ryan, and Ryan confirms it, but more of like a, I don't know, but he didn't deny it type thing. So this is why we still have to live with this. But we still haven't heard from a governing body. So it's a really tangled web. And it's exactly why they wish VADA would go away. And I have a hard time with VADA. While their heart is in the right spot and their junk science is as good as anybody else's junk science, there's nothing good that can happen for you, the athlete. For you, the athlete, to volunteer on anything in life, for you to volunteer to potential jeopardy makes you a fool. And it attempts to make somebody, I have nothing to hide. That's what you attempt. Why not just be a real person and say, of course I have things to hide. Of course I want privacy and secrets and left alone at any chance that I can. Like, fighters lack the rhetorical skill to know how to say, yes, I don't want you checking me more than you're already checking me. And when we find ourselves in this situation, Ryan Garcia ends up doing something called an Instagram Live, and he's doing it with Jake Paul. And Ryan tells Jake Paul, listen, if this is true, I will quit boxing forever. Now, Ryan actually takes the time to explain to us what his definition of truth is, which is if it is proven that it's true. Now, the problem for that is Ryan doesn't have an ability to prove that it's not. It will be misspoken from the beginning of time when you're given a commission hearing, that is your day to come in and share your side to a disinterested third party, but that is not what happens, ever. There is not an arbitrator, and there is not a judge. You can't even get to one. If you ever go read the stat, you can't even get to it till you exhaust all other options. I mean, I'm just sharing for you. You got a commission that says you did it, we're taking your license. You then will come in and have to convince the commission who's wrong here, of which the only other person is them. So they're then going to have to go, my gosh, you've got it right. We were wrong, and we never should have brought you here. In the history of Earth, that has never happened. So for Garcia to say, I will retire, I get he doesn't mean these things. I get it where you take the word of a steroid cheat. What I'm saying is, for him to use those words does help to illustrate his lack of understanding of the situation, right? And most people are very naive, right? They come up through life and go, well, I have nothing to hide. Of course I will cooperate. Yes, officer, please come on in. Let me tell you everything. I have nothing to hide. The truth always comes out. Silly things. Silly things like this, but many people believe them to be. You always believe them until you don't. I'm just sharing with you, in Ryan Garcia's situation, he's got one out. Now, he could prove a mistake within the test. Hard to do and expensive to do, but he could do it. And that could even be for who was in control of it. Chain of custody is the greatest way to break one of these things, but very unlikely to happen. When you hear about that B sample that's out there, never in the history of the world has the B sample not come back the same as the A sample. That's not an exaggeration why I use strong language like that. It comes back 100% of the time the same. So even though you think you might have that caveat, now you got one last Hail Mary, which is tainted substance. And when you have a dum-dum, right, those guys often do have somebody give it to them. When you're dealing with a guy that is so dumb, that is where you do have somebody in your entrusted circle that gets it to you. And aspartame, by the way, is one of those type substances. So Ryan could have had that slip to him, have absolutely no idea. That's true, but the person that gave it to him was going to have to be good enough at this to go to a tub or two of something else and taint it just a little bit. Be able to get that to the testing agents. Now, before you think you're off the hook, testing agents will then follow that tub of two or something all the way to the source. They will go into that store where you bought it from, and they will buy every single one of those on the shelf. And they will test them all. And if one of them comes back having dirty what you're dirty for, you will be cleared. And if it doesn't, then we know that the person that duped the dummy duped the local stuff too, and didn't have a way to taint that at the store. I'm just sharing the story for you, because there's none of you that follow that completely, and the one or two of you did know that I told that absolutely perfectly. Couldn't have been told any better. But it's that confusing of a thing. And therein lies the problem. Which in lies a very big statement by Ryan Garcia. And nobody ever has come out claiming innocence and ended up looking good. Now, Garcia's already pulled a couple of things we've never seen, so I'm very open to looking and studying this, for sure. But it's a very uphill battle. And truth is not, if he can't prove that he didn't have, there's a number of ways that he could have had that in his substance and be innocent that have nothing to do with your team going against the unknown team of VADA, of which most of you, including Ryan Garcia, don't even know what VADA stands for.